Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcats Sports Network. It's time to talk football with McKendree head coach Mike Babcock. And coach, the Bearcats last week on the road at Southwest Baptist University as a game. The Bearcats found themselves in an uncharacteristic 17-point deficit after one quarter, but McKendree showed the grit, battled back, got a late touchdown. Antonio Triplett leading the Bearcats down the field for the tying score, then plunges in for the game winner in overtime, 26-23. Talk about the process after getting down 17. What was the message to the team the final three quarters in overtime?
We came into the game with a no excuse policy. We knew it was going to be cold. We knew it was going to be kind of a barn burner. You never knew what to expect. And really at the end of the day, who cares? All we're caring about is getting the win. And honestly, I couldn't have been prouder than the guys, to be able to battle back from a 17-point deficit, losing your starting quarterback. There's a lot of things in the game that could have gone the other way. I mean, it was the most turnovers we've ever had in a game this year, and yet we still found a way, even down 7 with less than 3 minutes to go in the game, still found a way to shoot it to overtime and still win the game. So like I said, very proud of the guys just to continue to fight, not lose focus, and be able to come out on top.
You talked about the turnovers. McKendree committing a season-high 4, like you said, but the Bearcats battled back, rode the strength of a very solid defense last Saturday. They only allowed 2 first downs to Southwest Baptist the final 3 quarters in overtime, and they really stepped up, made some big plays, and had some big stops when you needed them.
Yeah, I was happy the way the defense was able to finish. And really at the end of the day, 13 points actually came out of turnovers. They started with short fields, and twice, our defense was able to hold them to field goals, which was big time. But really the last, quarter and a half, especially, they only had about 63 yards of total defense just in a quarter and a half. So I thought our defense played very, very well. Still some things obviously to correct, but for the most part, the greatest thing was you saw guys on the sideline, even though that we were down by X amount of points, hey, we got this offense, we got this, you're good, and that says that's a great culture, that's a great team to say, what, sometimes it's going to be the offense, sometimes it's going to be the defense. We're not pointing fingers, we're all in this together, and that's what was fun to see last Saturday.
You talked about the pick-me-up attitude for the defense. It showed on offense as well as Antonio Triplett came in for an injured Reese Metcalf, led the Bearcats to the come-from-behind win. He had some big plays down the stretch, and Preston Thompson leaned on him, another 100-yard performance and a big score in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think both of our running backs, and Preston Thompson and Jace Franklin, I think have done a very nice job all year. Being able to pick up the pace a little bit. I thought we ran the ball very well, especially in the last half of the football game. I thought we got some big chunks out of our run game, and which starts with our running backs, our O-line, our tight ends, even our receivers blocking sometimes as well. I thought we did a nice job running the ball. But then you alluded to Antonio Triplett. Again, a backup quarterback, not only a backup quarterback, but a redshirt freshman who's only plays was a couple weeks ago of handing the ball off every play, to be able to come in, throw the ball, doing a nice job, obviously throwing a game-winning strike, or I should say a tying strike to Jalen Williams with less than a minute to go in the game. I kind of definitely take some high character, and hopefully that can continue.
All those factors combined to 1-0 on the week. The Bearcats get to 4-3 overall, 2-1 in Great Lakes Valley Conference play. They continue the road swing this weekend. The task doesn't get any easier as you go into the team leading the GLVC right now, the University of Indianapolis, a night contest and a team that is always a handful for the Bearcats.
Every year it's the same thing. The Greyhounds are an unbelievable football team. They're coached extremely well. They've got playmakers on both sides of the ball. We know that the task at hand. There's a lot of good players, and I think the best thing that they do is they play well as a team. You look at 2 weeks ago against Missouri S&T, they're down in the game, yet they still find a way to win, a lot like what we did this last week. But again, very solid team, talented team, playing at home at night. Obviously, it'll be a big contest for us this Saturday.
What was the message to the team throughout practice this week?
Just continue to execute. Who's going to execute at a high level? I think UIndy really prides themselves of kind of doing the right thing in the details all the time. And that's something that a lot of teams, end up trying to strive for, including us. And so, can we execute at a high level? Can we block? Can we throw? Can we catch? Can we line up right? Can we tackle? Just basic football things, can we do that, and can we execute those at a higher level than they can? So obviously I think it'll be a good contest on Saturday. Like I said, they always seem to come out fighting against us. Like I said, I think their coaching staff and their leaders on their team, which they've got a lot of, do a very nice job, and like I said, I think it's a very, very solid ball club.
It's a place where the Bearcats have played well the last couple times they've been there, especially 2 years ago, a game that went down literally to the final minute. Although it was a 10-point loss for the Bearcats, McKendree battled tooth and nail with the Greyhounds all the way.
And I think obviously every year is a different one. I think every year it's a battle, and until someone is able to come away with it. And obviously some of those are very unfortunate, but I think they've got offensively, I think they've got one of the top running backs in the country, let alone the conference. I think their quarterback manages the game extremely well. When you look at his touchdown to interception ratio, when you look at his completion percentage, he knows where to go with the football. And they always have big guys up front to be able to move the ball as well. Defensively, I think their strength is in their D-line. I think they run around extremely hard. They're big and tough, and they get the offensive line to play to them, i.e., the linebackers are able to run around and make a lot of plays, and that's a good defense. They run around hard and hit. Like I said, just overall very solid ball club. Just getting excited for the weekend.
Well, Coach, good luck on Saturday. We'll catch up with you next week.
Appreciate it.
Don't forget, we'll have the broadcast live on the Bearcat Sports Network, McKendree at UIndy, 4:45 Central with the pregame show, 5 p.m. with the kickoff at glvcsn.com/McKendree.